Good afternoon, and welcome to 9 Mistakes Freelance Translators Should Avoid. Just waiting for people to join in. Right, if you can hear me, please write on the chat, just say hello, tell us where you're joining from. Hi, hello, tell us where you're coming from. And Jill, hi, where are you? That's UK. What's the weather like where you are? Oxfordshire, excellent. Not nice. Well, I'm based in Essex, and the weather is glorious now. As you can see, the sun shining on me. I even put the shutters down, but even then, it is quite it's quite a sunny day. It's lovely. It's very nice. Yeah. Emma, hi Emma, hi Annie. Just waiting a couple of minutes before we get started to make sure that everyone is, in case people are joining from other sessions, just to give them a bit of time to make those adjustments. And yeah, hello everyone. And tell us what you do. Are you a freelancer, linguist, part-time translator, full-time translator, or planning to get into translations? Well, Hertfordshire, cloudy and windy. Sorry to hear that, Kirsten. Is not trying to make you envy skies, but it's really sunny and lovely day here in Essex. And we have a part-time translator. Anyone here that is considering, thinking of joining as a translator? Hi, Will. Any new freelance translator? Excellent. Any seasoned translators? Any translators who are established but looking ways to expand further? Wow, Kirsten, last 7 years, excellent. Nadine, just starting as a translator, brilliant. I think it is it's a very interesting time. Everything happening in the world. There's always a bit of doom and gloom. There are threats and as well as opportunities. Now we've got 3 minutes in, and I really like to get started. And I know this is recorded so that people can join and watch later on. Well, my name is Levent Yıldızgören, and I have been in translation industry for the last 30 years, as you can probably tell from my age. And I started as a freelancer, then moved on to setting a single language vendor with my wife. We were called Turkish Tech Center, just did Turkish translations. And from 1997, we co-founded a translation company that does about 100 languages, and it's been going so far. So I appreciate that how important is freelance working is, because of my successful freelance career, I was able to, well, that's how I am still here, because I had a very successful freelance career. Keep coming the comments and I'll look at them. Returning to, well, we have Claire said, returning to translations after 20 years. Wow, excellent. Now, let's get started. And this is I'd like this to be a very interactive session. So I'd like you to ask questions, and we'll have a Q&A session. And at the end, I have an offer that I'd like to put across to you. See if you guys are interested in getting yourselves developed further. Well, 30 years in language industry, mentor, speaker. I have so much content. I'm rushing those details, guys. This is my book published, and it's got 35 5 stars in Amazon. Good business in any language. I'm really proud of that. Also, I'm very proud of the podcast that we've been doing with my team. Just published the 100th episode. Listen notes, if anyone knows, is top 3, so it's really proud of that. So you've been writing down in the chat what what you do. Please keep them coming. Let me see if I can see the chat. Right. Any Q&As, we'll leave it to last. So if you have a question, please wait for the Q&A session, and then I can answer those questions as well. So whether you're a freelance translator, part-time, or considering to go. Yes, I think we've got these questions now. Like any industries, translation industry will continue to change. We've got lots of challenges coming our way, not just as in our industry, but more like in the world. There's going to be lots of changes. I'm just going to record this. Right. Okay. So it's not simply our industry, but there will be like changes across all industries. And also let's expect the larger translation companies taking precautions so that they don't miss their market share. Now, what sort of challenges? Artificial intelligence, machine translations. Has already become mainstream. So it's very important that, especially for the newcomers to the industry, the translators who are starting out, it is the best time to get yourself familiar with those concepts. It is harder for me, people like me who's been in the industry for many, many years. If I can do it, you can do it as well. But these are now integral part of any works. And all big brands, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, they are all experimenting with translations. Facebook has grown to this level because of the translations they have been offering. So challenges, larger brands, they will be employing more automated solutions. TripAdvisor, all their customer reviews are done by machine translations. Also, expect some changes. I mean, big tech is slowing down. Just heard this on the news yesterday that Facebook and Instagram laying off 11,000 staff. So when we come to our level, the normality of how things are in a small business or freelancer. So what do we need to do to win more clients? We want to find quality jobs so that it is actually that jobs that we like doing, that customers really value our services, so that we deliver value to them and also have increased earnings, because they all go hand in hand. When we work with clients who value us, chances are there's a satisfaction going both ways. Customer is happy, we are happy, so everyone is a win-win. So this is so important. The biggest question is in our industry, and I often come across this one, is that some translators are oversubscribed while others are struggling for work or complaining or having difficulty finding new clients. So what is their secret? What makes it different for successful translators? So there's a lot to learn from the successful translators. And the purpose of my presentation is to tell you the 9 mistakes that you may be doing that is somehow preventing you to progress. You're not going to be doing all 9 at the same time. I'm sure you're not, but making small adjustments even on any of these will make a difference in your approach. Now, before I start on the 9 mistakes, let me tell you about the top mistake that is that can stop any relationship going any further, is not looking professional. We want to provide a service to a client, but we are not looking professional. That's not good. We need to make a good impression at the first sight. And the easiest thing is, write yes if you like to find out how to get a professional signature free. If you're already using one, well done to you. But if you're not, write yes on the chat if you like to see a professional looking signature, email signature that will present you. Okay, yes, I've seen few yeses, I'll continue. Right, so if I show you that one, and it is free, it's nothing, it doesn't cost you anything. That's HubSpot free email signature generator. If you Google this, HubSpot free email signature generator, you'll get this. You'll have the options to create the one that I'm using. This is generated in HubSpot. And I have a couple of these. So I have one for podcasts, I have one for book, I have one for my customers. Now, hope you found that useful before we started it. As I said, I have so much content, so I have to keep continuing. Now, the biggest mistake is starting with a reduced price, but not telling your potential customer that it's a reduced price or discounted price. There's nothing wrong with offering a discounted price for your ideal customer. Why? Because you want to start working with them, because you want them to understand you, trust you. So by all means, offer a discounted price, making it very clear that it's a first offer. Problem is, if this is not made clear, and if the customer starts working with you because they are attracted to your price, and then chances are you won't increase your price because it may be too little or too less, and then it will make it a lot harder. So it will be a lot harder to change. And also, customer may have a sort of a wrong impression of you. Make it very clear. If it's a discounted price, make it very clear it is, and that chances are you'll apply your normal prices afterwards. So how can you get a fair price, or how can you get the right price for your services? There is a going rate for language pairs. Cost of living in your country is very important. In some countries, the cost of living is so high, there's no way translators can charge below a certain rate, because otherwise they can't maintain their livelihood. So it's no point for them to think of how can I reduce my charges. And of course, your experience as a translator is very important. You go to a solicitor with 2 years experience charges, I don't know, £100 an hour. Solicitor with 10 years of experience, senior, may charge £400 an hour. And the subject matter experience is, of course, very important. Specialist translators always command higher rates. So yeah, these are just a couple of things that important. But if you get that start, you won't despise your customers later on, because otherwise it's so easy to start hating them because you can't get the price that these are just some stuff that how can you make a difference. Again, these are suggestions. It's not a recommendations. These are suggestions that I've done myself, that I've seen other people doing it. And also it's important, if somebody asks for a discount, don't just say yes. Try to understand why they are asking a discount. Is it because they want to use the cheapest translator available? Chances are they will always do the same thing. So is this a client you want to work with? You may at the time tactically, but not a long term. But it's important to be aware of this. And if your discounted rate is for one-off, make it clear. Okay, what sort of questions? I'm going to pass these quickly, otherwise we never finish the. Oh, sorry, did I miss my second because of my screen? Oh, I'm sorry about this. I think I missed this question. Second mistake. Second mistake is not asking questions, and somehow we are too worried about asking questions because we don't want to look like we don't know what we are doing. We don't want to look like wasting customers' time. But it's very important that some questions has to be answered before you get started. Who is the target audience? What is the purpose of the translation? Are there any reference materials? Is there an approved glossary? How many times in the past that we started a project, we come across a terminology that requires clarification, even though we asked the customer before if that was the terminology glossary, even though they were saying no, halfway through the translation, suddenly a 10-page terminology document appears. So getting those all in advance before you start the project is very important. And of course, if there's an approved translation memory, it's very, very important to get hold of this. Now, if you're working with translation companies, most translation companies should and would filter those for you. But even then, it's a good practice to check this. When we work with freelancers and they ask those qualifying questions to us, we love them. Because why? We are all human, we can easily forget something. So asking, is there approved translation memory? Or is the translation memory waiting to be approved? What shall I do if there's a repeat? And clarifying those is very important. So not making any assumptions. And also, I'm sure none of you is going to do this, but I've seen this happening some on occasions, asking questions to get extra time. Everyone knows that. Everybody's supposed that. It's not a good practice. If there's a delay without beyond your control, it's best to make it clear. So yeah, ask the questions before. Mistake 3, accepting any jobs offered. It is very hard, I appreciate, to turn down jobs, especially if you're starting. Now, yes, okay, if you don't have a choice, then we accept them. But it's important to have a long-term strategy. So what should be your ideal client? What should be the ideal type of jobs that you want to do? If it's a translation company, you can draw a picture. I'd like to work with translation companies that employs 10 people, turnover £1 million, does 10 languages, and those subjects. So if you have some sort of picture of who you want to work with, then it's likely that you'll end up getting type of jobs that you would like. Now, we are we've got 27 minutes left. I'd like to spare some time for question and answers, and also the offer that I'd like to put across to you. So yeah, some questions to ask is very important. Before accepting those work, it's important to ask those questions. So number of words, deadlines, subject matter, file format. Never underestimate the file formats, because nowadays customers may require you to do some conversions, or they may need to convert the files, so that they may need a little bit of extra time for that purpose. Now, it is planning is the best part. And if you have an idea about what sort of type of jobs that you will accept and what sort of conditions. So the job may be too very easy file format. Are you willing to make a reduction on your price if required so? Okay, so you have an idea. If the job is very tight deadline, hard subject, and top quality is required, should you do a discount? I can only tell you my opinion. When there are 3 criteria, quality, deadline, and speed, then the discount is out of the question. Because I know that one of them goes wrong, client will not be happy. And saying that, well, actually, I did this at a very reduced price, won't save you, won't save you from that trouble. So in our company, and that's what I did when I was a freelancer, if it was something was very urgent, very hard, and not an easy customer to work with, I would walk away from the job, because it just saved me headaches in the long run. Yes, be clear and transparent, like in anything. It helps to be that. I'm passing those guys because otherwise we'd never finish this. Mistake number 4, not keeping in touch regularly. Excuse me. We have translators, freelance translators. By the way, we call them external partners. They contact us on regular basis. We love that. And then we have some translators that contact us when they need work. That's fine too. The only difference is that the ones who contact us on regular basis, we always remember them. So this is the only thing. It's nothing personal. There's no grudge or anything that people don't contact us because we appreciate life is too fast. But the advantage of contacting them regularly means they'll remember you, and they are likely to contact you. So what stops you contacting clients on a regular basis? Can you put on the chat line, what is, if you're not one of these people that's saying, oh, should I contact them? Oh, I only contact them a month ago. Will they be upset? Will I look desperate? So what is it likely that may stop you contacting them? Can you put it on the chat line, please? Because I'm always curious about that. I don't want to bother them. Yes, this is like one of my concerns as well. Worry about bothering people. Absolutely. Same. Now, one thing that I've been telling my colleagues and to myself as well is that if people don't want to hear from us, they tell us. If you send them that email, what's the worst thing that can happen? They won't read it, or they won't reply. If you call them to say hello, what is the worst thing that can happen? They won't take the call. Nothing personal. Okay, now, if I'm not feeling, that's an interesting one. If I'm not feeling bright and positive that day, I worry about putting across a bad image. Now, okay, that's an important point. If you're not feeling energized, then that may reflect in the telephone conversation. How do you energize yourself? Do your telephone standing up, jump up and down. If anyone watched Tony Robbins, before his presentations, he goes on a trampoline for 10 minutes. He jumps up and down, for 10 minutes to energize. So now, one thing that, as I said, I tell my colleagues, and I'm telling myself as well, if people don't want to take our call, they won't. That is the worst that can happen. So please make regular contacts. And when you do a regular contact and people get used to it, they kind of expect it. So for instance, say you learned a new CAT tool, just tell him. You're using a new software, tell him about it. New skills you learned, new subject matter you covered. Just tell him about it. And if you say, I posted something in LinkedIn yesterday, I went to a conference. Before I went to the conference, I realized that I don't have any business cards. So what do? I remembered about Linktree. So it gives you a QR code. I put it on my telephone. So I was showing people the QR code. And people said, oh, that looks very professional. So I thought, well, I might as well share this with my network. So some people, it created like 1,000 views on LinkedIn, and people were making comments about it. I find it useful, not, or whatever that might be. But, sharing something like this. I got this QA tool that I'm using. Are you aware of this? So that helps a lot. But make sure it is regular. It's not like when you need their services. Right. And yes, the last one. We have translators that we work with. We haven't seen their CV. So that is really bad. You should send them your CV at least once a year or twice a year. There's you won't do any harm. Now, number 5 is hoping that your client shouldn't work with anyone else. That's virtually impossible, because I run a translation company, and for the same language pair, we need multiple translators. Why? Because different subjects, host holidays, sicknesses, and everything. Now, number 6 is not having a special subject. That's really important. Okay, you have to cover a variety of subjects, but you need a specialist subject that people think of you. Sports, fashion, luxury goods, marketing, the electronics, whatever that might be, is so important, having that niche. And believe in me, having a niche doesn't support you getting work that is not entirely in your area. How do you get a niche? That's a different subject. I've just passed that one, I'm afraid. Now, Number 7, that I keep seeing this, both examples, some examples of translators collaborating with others work beautifully. And I also see some translators really closing themselves. And I don't know which one you are, but collaboration with your other fellow translators are so advantageous, because we all share similar aspirations and challenges. So something that can be win-win for all parties. Now, making connections is very important, and that is, so it's part of those connections. I'm passing these as well. Now, number 8, not being a member of a professional organization. Now, this has got many benefits. I don't know if there's any members here from like ITI, Institute of Chartered Institute of Linguists, or ATA. If you're a member of any professional organization, please write it down. It's not just them organizations. Like there's a Technical Authors Association. There's Scientific ISTC. There's many market research organizations. Having those are very important. Why? Because it gives you an exposure. It gives you, code of conduct. You feel good about what you do. And also, if you're in some sort of difficulty, you can always people that you can ask for advice. Yes, these are the benefits. Networking, of course, personal development is absolutely important. Legal advice, if you need something, then you can actually ask for legal advice. And these are some of the organizations, as you may know, but there are others. Now, the number 9 is, I'm just checking the time as well at the same time. Okay, we've got 15 minutes to go. Not continuing with professional development. As you will know, our industry is directly affected by IT developments, technical developments, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Therefore, we translators have to be on top of all this. Why? Because one, we don't want to lose business for a customer that needs a requirement, but also on a different level, we need to lead our customers for these developments. How many times I can tell you that we had customers that we advised them to move on to a hosted solution for technical authoring. They loved it because they never thought of this. So having a technical authoring hosted solution means it can connect with our translation management system. Customer is happy. So it is so important that that we do this for our benefit, as well as we can offer something to our customers, because this is what makes the biggest difference. Giving value to customers, not just when we work with them, but also giving advice and sharing stuff that we know. Now, integrations is so important because everything nowadays has to talk to the other software or app, and without those integrations, nothing can work. All our tools in the industry, they are all fully integrated. None of them are closed boxed. Closed box days are gone altogether. So the benefits, well, it will give you higher profile. It will boost your confidence. I'm sorry, just a sip of water. It will give you a higher profile. And of course, productivity, if you're using Slack for communication, if you're using Trello or something else, or to-do list, that will give you Evernote for taking notes, and and also this is just another excuse when you contact customers. Dear customer, I've started using this tool. I'm finding it extremely useful because it's saving me a lot of time. Yes, these are some examples. Now, I have got 15 minutes left, and I'd like to leave this for question and answers, because I can talk to you all day. And the thing is, you may leave this talk feeling, with lots of information, but what questions do you have that I can answer? Because I've got this years of experience, and I have a suggestion as well. But first, I'd like to get your questions. Any questions so far from what you heard, from what I said? It could be a question that you're thinking about, or it could be something that you heard that I said that didn't make any sense at all. So any questions, please? Right. Okay. Now, what I'd like to 1 second. I'll just yes, quickly. Okay. Now, the question is from David: should you try to visit clients in person regularly? Now, I've got one criteria for this. If my client would like to see me, I will visit them every week. If possible, yes, absolutely. I was in Germany yesterday. I was there for 2 days because one of our regular customers wanted to see me. Of course, it wasn't like it was possible for me. It was affordable. It was cost effective. So I just went over there and we met, and it was great. It was a conference as well, so I had other benefits altogether. So absolutely, because if they want to see you, that means they value you. The ones that doesn't want to see you, doesn't want to share information with you, chances are that they are looking for the cheapest solution. And the cheapest solution often is a customer that is looking for something that, quick, and they're likely to be doing the same thing. Now, anyone interested, I've got I'll just put this on the I've got a Zoom. 1 second, I'll just copy that Zoom thing. If anybody wants to come and join the Zoom meeting with me afterwards, please feel free to do so, because if I can't answer everything, then I can, by all means, I'll just copy that. Okay, Maria, I'm an interpreter. Is it realistic to attempt to be a successful interpreter and translator? Now, to be honest with you, I'm not qualified to answer that question. I know interpreters, they do translations. I know translators who do interpreting. I did one myself, both at a time. I loved both of it, but then I decided to develop the business side. So I kind of went to the business side. It can be done if, in my opinion, that's my opinion only, it works best if it is in the same specialty. I'll give you an example. You're a legal interpreter that is specialized in litigation. Now, you'll translate stuff for litigation purposes, and then same client may have a serious meeting with their counterparts. It could be an arbitration or court hearing, and they would want you to be on that meeting. So if you can interpret, if you have the ability and the qualification to interpret, then it works perfectly, because you know the subject, you've been involved, and you can also tell your clients, I'm a legal translator specialized in litigation or marine terminology, whatever it might be. And also, I don't interpret for everyone, but I'll do it for you. Because why? Because you're one of my best customers. So I wonder if you find this useful. But having an alignment in your subject and specialty will work wonders. Annie, do you know ways to learn cat tools without having to buy them to start with? I know a lot of ways, Annie. And trust me, it's a great question, because money doesn't stop you learning damn cat tools. MemoQ comes with 45 days free trial. MemoQ, MemSource does a free version for the translators. Across systems will have a free version. Absolutely, yes. You don't need to buy them to learn them. You don't even need to buy them to use them. So if you join the Zoom meetings, I can tell you more. Right, okay. Now let me get that link for the Zoom meeting. I did promise, but I haven't provided the link. That's not good practice. I'm sorry about. Yes, any other questions, please keep them coming in, and I'll copy the I'll put it in the chat. There's a Zoom meeting. I don't know. Is it going through? Yes, there's a, yeah. Which of the CAD tools do you think is used more frequently, the best way to buy if you're investing? The CAD tools, it won't be a direct answer, unfortunately. We use Trados, we use MemSource, we use MemoQ, we use Across, we use some other tools that customers have. So buy the one, I mean, to be honest with you, you don't need to buy it to learn it. If you want to invest it, yes, use the one that is most demanded by your customers. And some tools you need, like MemoQ. If you have a professional license, then you can work a lot easier with your customers. We have MemSource. We love MemSource. Our translators love MemSource because translators don't have to invest in MemSource. We give him the license. So it's a trade-off between cost and keeping your customers happy. But my suggestion is top of your list should be customer satisfaction. So whatever keeps your customers satisfied and it is affordable, do it. If not, don't do it. There's a tool called SmartCat. It's a platform, free platform. I mean, I'm not suggesting, I'm not recommending for you just to explore, because it opens every packages. I don't use it as a freelancer. I never have because it wasn't there at the time. So by all means, learning, the cost of buying something is not a barrier for learning. Trust me. Elon Musk agrees with me as well, because you can learn anything nowadays. Yeah, right. Now, the offer that I wanted to make was, which I thought I better mention it because we got like a few minutes left. Now, if you want to take your career to next level, I have a subscription, membership subscription site. It is $10 US, like around about 3 cups of coffee a month. And with this, you'll get like tools, you get like resources, you'll have a live Q&A session with me, you'll have like questions to ask. So, I mean, for that money, there's a lot of tools, a lot of content there that you'll find useful. I wish I had something like that I could access myself 30 years ago, because I could have had my business in a totally different place if that was possible. Now, the thing is, the investment is so little and it is fully guaranteed. So if you want to, you know, if you say, oh, that's not for me, after 2-3 weeks, you know, that's it. I'll fully refund you, because I have no interest in having somebody who is not happy. So I rather have someone happy with what they are getting than not. I'll just find that link. 1 second, please. I'm kind of. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat line. And I mean, this is really for you. This is your opportunity to ask any question. And please don't say, is this a question, you know, right? Or it could be a silly question. I know, trust me, there's no such thing as a silly question, because it's a question that comes to your mind. You're not asking. Chances are other people are in the same position. So by all means, ask that question. Now, I'll just put this. This is the membership site. And if you want to talk about this, or if you have any other questions, the Zoom link is there. I'll start the Zoom as soon as this session finishes, so that you can come and join, and then we can talk about this. Any other questions from what you heard? The mistakes that I mentioned, did any of them resonate with you? Did any of the mistakes resonate with you? Can you mention this in the chat, please? Chat, can't see the link. It should be there. It's a Patreon website. I'll write this here. Sorry, I'm sending them in the wrong place. God, this is embarrassing. I'm sending them to the panelists. Thank you for mentioning that you didn't see the first one I shared is the membership site. The second one is the Zoom link. If you want to come and Zoom link is if you want to come and talk to me about something about the membership site or any specific questions that you want to ask me that you can't ask on the platform, please feel free to come in. I'll hang around for 10-15 minutes, and then afterwards. And thank you for Maria for saying that you can't see the link because I was sending them to the wrong place. That's why. Any other questions? What has resonated with you most? Or what has been the, if you're thinking about, okay, Charlie says, he admits, don't tend to contact clients very often. I say he, I'm assuming the he, but I know Charlie's, that female Charlie's. Annie, I don't have a special subject yet, and I find it hard to find a niche. I am not technical about it. Well, Annie, there is a way to find a niche. My suggestion is I believe in lazy finding the easiest ways is starting with your niche, passion. What you're passionate about. I'm passionate about motorcycles, swimming, cycling, all these sports. And can I turn this into my niche? Chances are, if I can, that gives me the biggest strength because I'm passionate about it. When I'm passionate about something, it comes across. I love what I do. You're probably getting, this crazy guy waving his arms around, but because I love what I do. I love the, talking about this. I can do it all day. Gives me a lot of excitement. So, passion, your expertise. Maybe in your previous life, somebody said they are joining after 20 years. If they have a certain degree in something else, sociology, can they use it to their benefit? So there's a lot of ways. Jasmine says a bit like IKE. I don't know what that is short for. Can you enlighten me, please? Because I'm not sure what that means. IKIGAI. And Kirsten says, if they find contact, all right, it's a Japanese class. All right, excellent. No, I love that. Thank you for sharing. Yes. Passion is great, but somebody was saying that passion doesn't earn you living. I respectfully disagree. As long as there is a concept behind it, such as if there's a demand. I love a subject that has got no demand, then obviously it's reality. I have to be real and get back to do something that is really going to make a living for me. So I'm just putting the membership site there. Go and have a look. If you like it, join in. As I said, if you join and then 2 weeks later you say, that was total waste of 10 pounds or 10 US dollars, come back to me. I'll fully refund you. I've got no problems with that. Because if I'm not giving value to somebody, to my client, I say the same thing. If I'm not giving value to my clients, really, they should go somewhere else, find that value, because life is about, it has to be about win-win. And the thing is, if it is not win-win, it's going to end in sooner or later. So I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you enjoy the presentation. Come and join the Zoom session if you have any specific question. Contact me. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm in partly a little bit of Instagram. I do a couple of TikTok videos, but LinkedIn is probably the best place. So you can contact me if you have any questions. And and if you like it, just send me a reaction like, I don't know. I see some clappings coming up. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It just makes my day. So yes, I think I have to stop it because otherwise I'll be sabotaging the next session. So thank you very much. All the best. Stay safe, develop, and prosper, as they say.